Hey guys, so I haven't been able to fix the audio issues from the previous video. So if this video is quiet, you may have to increase your volume. Apparently it's an issue with Google Pixel phones, but I haven't been able to figure it out. So yeah, but today I wanted to go over staying the course, what this means, why it's important, and what it entails. Um, but first off, I wanted to preface this by assuming that you've come to a similar conclusion around investing in sealed trading card products. Maybe I can do a separate video on what are some of the positive attributes of sealed products as an investment strategy. But yeah, assuming you've come to a similar conclusion, um, uh, yeah, uh, why staying the course is important. So, um, in the social media and digital world that we live in, with algorithms exposing you to new information, showing you the new shiny thing, it's easy to get distracted. And I think Pokemon is especially susceptible to this with hype cycles. We can see an example of it at the moment where the Pokemon market isn't really in a bear market. It's gone sideways, maybe pulled back a little bit, but the sentiment is very negative. And I think it's a healthy thing, especially going into with Pokemon 30th anniversary around the corner. I think it's just a very natural part of a market life cycle. Um, Something can't just go up forever. That's not how markets work without pullbacks and corrections. So I think it's a good example to show what the current sentiment is. People are kind of um, you know negative with Pokemon. Magic is a bit different at the moment because it's prices of things are going up. The Hobbit set just released recently, so the sentiment for Magic is still pretty positive. I picked up a few boxes of the Hobbit collectors boxes, which side note, if you can get some at like a reasonable price, I think it's a good idea. But yeah, I think the supply in the US isn't as good as in Australia. I think I've seen people paying like 800 to 900 US dollars for a box. But in Australia, you can still find collector's boxes for around 900 Australian dollars at the moment. I'm not sure how long that'll last. If you're in Australia, maybe it makes sense to buy some. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's easy to get distracted. And I think a good example of this, just quickly, is something like crypto, where you had Bitcoin as the sales pitch for crypto, but then it was very easy to get distracted with all of the altcoins. Pretty much everyone bought Ethereum, Doge, whatever altcoin. But point being is, if you got distracted, you missed the main move of Bitcoin going past $100,000. So yeah, I think if you've got a good investment thesis, you have good reasoning and fundamentals, it's important to stay the course and not get distracted with the shiny new thing, basically. Um, and the next part I wanted to talk about is stability, like life stability, why that's important, plays an important role with an investment strategy like this. So if you've got a stable income, job security, and you're able to, pay your bills, your mortgage, rent, whatever it is, without going into debt, and you have a good cash buffer of savings, it's easier to stay the course because you won't become a forced seller if an expense comes up and you're forced to sell one of your investments, or for a loss, worst case scenario, or even if you sell it for a gain, you might make 50 $100 if it moves from like 400 to 500, just as an example. And you know and then you've effectively made a small gain. But the problem with that is you've effectively cut your winners short, and it's going to be harder to re-enter at that price point, and you might miss out on continued growth of whatever set that was. So yeah, I think it's important to have stability, good savings, good cash buffer, so you can avoid becoming a forced seller, basically. And yeah, I think that covers all of the topics for today. I might make a follow-up video for this, but yeah, I think it's important to stay the course.